What's going down, everybody? Welcome back, fellas. So check it out, dude. It's another amazing day outside. And with that, we're out here in Bill's garage messing around. Now, I got a few things. One, I want to show you on the pit bike. Two, we got to jump into what I found underneath the 09 Hemi Ram right now, dude, when I got done doing the oil change right now. Which I have noticed the front end getting a little different while I'm driving it. And seeing what I've seen tells me why. Now we'll go through all that in this video. And we're gonna jump to the 03 Hemi Ram, Mr. 418,000. And we're gonna try something, man. I got a comment about the front control module and a solution that the gentleman had. And he said it's worked ever since. It only cost me $6 at the auto parts. So if we can get it going that way, we will. But we're gonna go through the process. I'll explain everything once we get under the hood of the truck and we jump into it. Now with all that, first out of the gate, I wanna show you this. So DIY Dad and I got together and put a little exhaust pipe on the pit bike right here out of some stainless tubing, right? It was a little unnecessary, but hey, I figured why not? It's just a toy. Now, with that out of the way, not the purpose of the video, but I did need to put that in there because I'm keeping you on the loop. So we're gonna jump out here to the 09 Hemi Ram. I'm gonna jack the front of the truck up, show you what I seen, and then tell you what we gotta do to get it fixed. I'll order some parts when they come in from Rock Auto. We'll get into replacing them, and that'll be that. Once we're done with all that, we'll jump into the blue truck, and that'll be what's up. So y'all sit back and relax, and here we go. So we're out here underneath the front of the 09, man. You see I got my handy light up. So this is what I noticed, dude, just from visual, right? Is that if you look at that upper ball joint right there, that thing is shot. Oh, there it is right there. You see that thing is shot, man. And if you look at the bottom when you come around here, let me get this camera right. It's got a big tear right there. So that lets me know that that thing's bad. My rack and pinion, my boot is torn. Here, let me move this light. See if I can't get it in here some way. So, whoop, there it goes again. So my boot is torn. Look, it's all the way in half right here. There's the other half. On top of that, it's leaking. See my finger? So it's leaking. So that means my inner seal is leaking. So I need a rack and pinion. My outer tie rod ends still look good. I replaced them. So I need a rack and pinion, upper control arm. Look at that bushing in there, dude. That thing is shot, man. Look at how it's all tore up, right? And then the back one probably looks the same. I also need a set of shocks. If you look at the bushing, it's completely destroyed. The bottom one, completely destroyed. Tie rod end links, they don't look so good, but they're not too bad either. Now, this is just the passenger side. I forgot to mention that. We're on the passenger side of the truck, man. So, I gotta get over here to the driver's side and we'll show you that here. Let's just walk over and get this light. So here's the driver's side here. Stick our old handy light on there. Let's look. Same thing. Same thing. Upper ball joint, completely torn, destroyed. Same with the bottom one down here. Look. Bottom one's destroyed. Sway bar end link looks about the same. The shock looks about the same. Now let's look at these bushings here. They don't look so bad, but if you look at this control arm, it's all one piece. You can't just replace the ball joint, so I have to get the whole upper control arm to replace that. So, with that, man, and I'm sure the rack and pinion is just as bad on this side. As a matter of fact, let's look at it real quick. Might as well. We're already here. Well, Give me just a second, guys. I got to turn that wheel back the other way. All right, I got that wheel turned. And I'm looking, that shock looks way worse than the one on the passenger side. My rack and pinion don't look that bad on this side. Put some light on it for you. The boot's intact, it looks like that anyway. Let's see. The boot's intact, the hand is dry. So it's just the passenger side that's leaking. But I mean, look at that upper control arm ball joint. And the bottom one. So I do have the wheel turned at a different angle. And we're still on the driver's side. So that's that. Now I'm going to turn my wheel back straight. Right, and then I'm gonna get my crowbar and we're gonna do the test. We're gonna lift the wheel up and see how much plays in them ball joints to see how quick I need to get them parts here. So y'all just give me 1 minute, we'll jump right back into it. So we're back on the passenger side, man. Dude, look at that upper control arm. Look at that, dude. Look at that. I mean, with that right there, that states, I mean, that's obvious. I don't even have to do a test or anything to realize that I need that quick, dude. Look at that. It's just busted wide open. So, even though, for the sake of the video and all of you guys, we're going to do the test anyway. So I'm gonna set y'all up. I'm gonna try to get y'all the best angle. I'm just gonna leave y'all running while I get y'all set up. Try to get y'all set up. Right there. Man, y'all really can't see that. All right, give me a second. We got to drop back and punt. All right, man, I got y'all set up. I actually hooked y'all to the brake hose, hooked up to the to the caliper. So here's our upper ball joint. This is what we want to look for play, right? So let's get it started. Here we go. I mean, I can almost hear that. So I got to review the footage. I mean, we're doing this together, and actually what I need to do, I need to set the truck down and jack up one wheel at a time because the whole truck is rocking, which makes me very uncomfortable. So let me get that going, and then we'll jump back into doing this test again where the truck's a little more rigid and doesn't rock. Now here we go. So I got it jacked up underneath the lower control arm on the passenger side because we're looking for movement in the ball joint, the lower ball joint and the upper control arm ball joint, right? So with it being jacked up right here on one side, you see that that wheel's on the ground. Now the truck won't rock, so any movement that we get out of the wheel will be actual ball joint movement. So now that we have it isolated to the two ball joints we're looking to see, now we'll start the test. So let me set y'all right back up where y'all had y'all, and then we're gonna roll with it. Right back in the same place, guys. So here we go. We're gonna start the test over and see what kind of movement we can see. All right, I gotta review the footage, man, because well, I can't see it and y'all can. So give me a second to review what we just recorded, and then I'll set y'all up. We'll do the lower ball joint, and then we'll jump to the driver's side. Okay, so after reviewing the footage, I did see a little bit of movement on that upper ball joint, up and down motion. So I got you set up on the lower one now. We're gonna do the test once again and see how much movement we get out of this one. So we're looking for movement in between here and here without this moving itself. If this is moving with it, that's normal. But if this is moving up and down and this is not moving, that's not normal. That's the same thing we were looking for on the upper control arm. So let's start this test and see what we got. All right, same thing, man. I got to review the footage to see what I see or to see what y'all seen. I did hear a clicking noise, real slight, but I mean, I'm trying to inseminate the truck going down the road, you know, just picking up with a crowbar. So we made it to the driver's side. I did review the footage of the lower ball joint on the passenger side. It had a little bit of play in it also. So that lets me know I need to get on it pretty quick. Now, we have the same setup with the jack in the same place. I'm gonna put you in the same place to hold you. We're gonna do the upper ball joint first. Look, it's in the same shape. The boot's completely ripped open, which lets me know that road grime and water and everything else is getting in there, just destroying that ball joint. So I'm gonna set y'all back up. We're gonna do the same test on the opposite side of the truck, which would be the driver's side. So let me get y'all posted up and we're gonna get this party started. We had to go with a little bit different of an angle, but here we go, man. Let me climb out from under this truck again. We'll get this test started. Like I stated on the passenger side, we're looking for movement in between the spindle and the upper control arm, where the upper control arm is not moving, but the spindle's going up and down. That's the movement we're looking for. Now, if it moves together in unison, it's still in decent shape, but the way it looks, I mean, that's a hard comment to even put out there. You know, it don't look like it's in good shape. So let's get this test started and roll with it. All right, let me review this and see what we seen. I reviewed that footage. There's also a little bit of play in that one. I can see that spindle going up and down, and that upper control arm wasn't moving enough to say that it's working in unison or as working together. Now, we're on the bottom one. Once again, this one doesn't look like it's in bad a shape as the passenger side, but we're gonna do that test anyway. Same thing, we're looking for movement with no movement. All right, let me check that. Well, there was a little bit of play in that also. Now, I need to check the wheel bearing. I did on the passenger side, which a while back, if y'all don't remember, I have a video on it. We replaced that wheel bearing. So, we didn't do the driver's side, so I am gonna check it. I did check the passenger. I just didn't have the camera on. Now, we're gonna check this, see how it's doing. So far, I need upper and lower ball joints, or to be an upper control arm and lower ball joint on both sides. I'll probably get the sway bar end link bushings because they're, I think, like 30 bucks extra, and I might as well replace them while I'm down there if they're that cheap. Now, the rack and pinion, so with that, I'm not having any issues out of my steering. It's just the control of the wheels, right? So you can tell it's a ball joint issue or a wheel bearing issue. The rack and pinion is not stuttering. It doesn't get hard to turn. It's not giving me any issues. And if it is dripping, it's a small enough amount that I'm not losing fluid like that. So we're probably gonna hold off on that. I might order a couple of boots to get the boots replaced to try to save what's left. Now, we're gonna jump into this test real quick, this last test. We're gonna check to see how much plays back and forth to see if that wheel bearing's bad. And if it's not bad, then we're gonna wrap this part of the video up, and then we're gonna jump to the 03 Hemi Ram, Mr. 418,000 miles. So y'all just hang back and we're gonna get this party, well, we're just gonna continue rolling with it. We've already got it started. All right, so for this test, man, we just gotta move the wheel. So for the ball joint test, you just get a crowbar, put it under your wheel and pick up on it, right? And if you see play in there, you know it's not good. There shouldn't be any play, I mean zero. So when you're checking your wheel bearing, you wanna go top to bottom, right? Now you're gonna have a little bit of play. You gotta have a little bit of play, because if the bearings were that tight, you would just burn them right up. And then we're gonna go side to side. See, there's no play, and then we're gonna spin it. And I can hear it clicking, right? But once again, so with the ball joints being out the way they are, and the sway bar end-link bushings kind of being rotted away, I'm not gonna get into a wheel bearing until that's replaced, because like anything else in the world, dude, if you replace a bad part with a good part, your weakest link will be the next part that goes out. So with that, we gotta jump back underneath the truck. We're gonna do the, I gotta check the U-joints, or at least see if there's some play in the drive shaft. And then we're gonna jump over to the 03 Hemi Ram. So we're almost done with the 09, and then we're gonna jump into the 03. So we're underneath the truck once again. Gotta inch around like a worm. So we're gonna do a visual on my U-joints. This is the front one, right? It don't look bad. And then you just wanna try to twist it, right? If it twists and you have play in there, you'll know it. So that one doesn't have any. That one's good, actually. If I can get this camera right, I'll give y'all a good shot of that. All right, that one's nice. So the back one looks bad, but looks could be deceiving. So I'm gonna set y'all down real quick. So if you look at it, it looks bad. It looks like it's been in some water. And I hadn't drove this truck through that deep of water. At least not yet. So same thing, we're just gonna twist, right? We're looking for play in here. We're looking for this piece to spin inside this cup. Now, I'm not saying that that states that it's good or bad, but it's a good sign. And seeing as I don't have any play in there, right? That's a good thing. Now, what I am feeling is a slight vibration. So with that vibration and looking at the rust on these caps here, them pins, them little pin bearings in there could be hanging up. And this looks pretty original. It has no grease cert on it, right? And the original ones don't have a grease cert on it. And it's not looking like I can grease it. So until it acts a little crazier, we're gonna leave it alone. But I think they're like 30 bucks a piece, and then sooner or later we will get into changing them. Both sides, if you're gonna do one, you might as well do both of them, and then that'll be that. But I gotta get this front end under control first before we can jump into that. So we are still laying underneath the truck. That's all I got for the 09. I'm gonna run up to the house. We're gonna take a quick break, man. I'm gonna give me something to eat. We're gonna jump out here, jump under the hood of the 03, and then we'll see if we can come up with that and the front control module. See? All right, man, we're back, dude. So it's a few hours later. I had to charge the camera, give me something to eat. While I was upstairs, I went ahead and ordered the upper control arms and the lower ball joints for the 09 Hemi Ram. It was only about 160 bucks. The sway bar end links, they only have one in stock, man. So I was like, nah, that's not what I'm looking to get into. So I'll probably buy them locally at the O'Reilly's, something like that. They're that simple to change. Now, they'll be here Tuesday or Wednesday, so next weekend we'll get out here, we'll change both upper control arms and both lower ball joints on the 09 Hemi Ram. Now with that out of the way, dude, we're gonna jump out here to the 03 Hemi Ram, Mr. 418,000 miles. So as I'm going through the process of getting to the front control module, I'll go through what the comments stated. It only costs $6 to give this a try, and if it works, hey man, I'm all about saving money around here. We already know this. So let's jump out here, get under the hood, see what we can get into, see if we can get this problem solved. All right, fellas, so we're underneath the hood of the truck, 03 Hemi Ram, Mr. 418,000. So the tip them, right, we already know the front control module's on the back side, so we're gonna get to it, 1/2-inch socket, Phillips head screwdriver to get it off. Now, the gentleman gave me a comment. I believe the gentleman's name was Tom Clark. He stated that he had bought a brand new front control module. He's having the same issue. So the issue is passenger side low beam light out, driver side low beam light works. Now, I have put a couple of videos out already on this topic, and I hadn't had success, right, with a complete fix. So with that, man, back to the comment. He stated that he bought the brand new front control module. He put it in his truck. It worked well for 2 years. He said then all of a sudden he started having the same problem again. So what he did was he got an air gun, something of that nature, right, and cleaned it out really well. And then he put dielectric grease or bulb grease, right, is what I went down and bought, $2 a little packet. And he smeared it on the prongs because he stated it's a connection problem, which I agree 100%. It's a connection problem for the fact that if you tap on it, it'll turn the light on, so on and so forth. So what we're gonna do, since we're pulling all this apart, we're gonna clean. I'm gonna get my air gun here. I'm gonna blow out all of this on the back of here, and I'm gonna blow this out real good. And then I'm gonna get some of this bulb grease or dielectric grease, same difference. And I'm gonna smear on the top of these and in here. We're gonna put it back together, and then we're gonna see. As of me driving the truck earlier today, the lamp out light was on. So let's get started with that. Jumping right into it like always. So we're just gonna blow this out, right, real well. I wanna make sure that everything's out of there. And then I also wanna do in here, might as well, man, I mean, we're already here. One more time, might as well, I mean. All right, so now that that's done, I got to get my gloves on. We're going to tear this up, or tear this open, not up. And we're going to smear some on here like I stated, and then we're going to smear some on there. We're going to put it all back together. And I don't mean a little bit. I plan on using the whole pack on here. Well, let's get it going, man. We're just going to tear this open, right? Just like the gentleman stated in this video. I mean, we're gonna do it exactly how I read it off the comments. I mean, hey, if it's a $6 fix, then I'm all for it, man. I am all for it. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that the holes are filled in, right? So when I push the front control module in, right, it's completely full of dielectric grease. Plus, this ain't gonna hurt. I mean, it helps prevent moisture from getting in there, which we do deal with really humid climates down here in Texas. So, I mean, it's not gonna hurt the way I see it. Now, I have seen a lot of videos online about bad wiring under the tip-em, things of that nature. But for it to consistently work, if you tap on it or something of that nature, I don't know, man. The wires just don't look bad down here. They look dirty, but I mean, it was a work truck for me for 7 years. It was a work truck. Now, that's that. I'm gonna show y'all this real quick. See, I just filled in all the holes, made sure that dielectric grease was in all the holes, man. So let me get y'all set back down here. Get y'all back in the right spot. Now we're gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna get a big goop of it on my finger here, right, like that. And then we're just gonna smear it across the top of them. I wanna make sure to get some on all of it. I mean, Yep, that's what I mean here. Yep. Especially these top prongs here. So with that, I'm gonna have to say, you're gonna have to get the pack or something to smear. You see how it kind of hangs up down on the bottom, just to kind of smear it around. I mean, you want it to be on all the prongs pretty well. We are looking for this to be the best shot, you know, for it to work. It's sticking to my glove, which is kind of a good thing. It's helping me smear it across some prongs. Now, I did bring me a rag. So let's put it back together and see what we got here. Right, now you know you got a good squish on that. So let me get these screws. So let me get all this bolted back up, put back into place, and then we'll turn the lights on and see what we got. Got it all bolted back up. Front control module's back in there. So let's see what we got. Here we go. Show you that mileage, 418,932. So, start it up. Man, that thing still sounds good. Oh, it's on, it's still on. Well, let's see, it might not have worked. No, sure didn't. Well, that is what it is, man. I was hoping that was gonna work. It didn't. I also didn't have a brand new front control module to try this with. I just used the old one. But I will, let's see here. Let's see something here. See if I can't find something to tap on it with. See if we can't get it to come on and register. So it's just a little whatever. Give it a little something. Nah, that didn't work either. All right, well, that's a no-go. I don't see anything else down in here I can tap on it with, at least well enough to get it going. Maybe. Nah, it's out. It's dead. Yeah, it's pretty much dead, fellas. So that's that. Let's turn them off. Turn them on. Turn them off. Turn them on. Nah, no dice. Well, it was worth a try. Like I said, dude, it was like $6. I didn't know if it was gonna work or not. Obviously, it didn't work for me and my son's truck. So it was always worth a shot because I'm always willing to save money and I'm always willing to share situations that save money. But on this one, it was a fail. So with all that, man, I have one more thing we can do to make it work, which it'll make it work, but it'll still register in your truck lamp out, but your headlight will come on every single time. So I'll talk with my son, see if he wants me to go through that and get it done for him, which I'm pretty sure he does. I just got to give me a little bit of wire. So now that all that's out in the open, now that we know that didn't work, but at least we tried it. With all that, dude, with all of that, dude, keep living the dream, doing your thing. Like and subscribe. Always hit your boy with a comment, and we will catch you on the next one.